we will record this call. It is recording now, so we will post this in our Elite Push Group pages for those that weren't able to make the call. We missed you, but you can catch the recording of all of Tara's awesome insight and advice and tips and strategies. We'll get to that in a second. But before I do, thank you for taking time to be on the call. Thank you for joining us. It will be on June 14th. Thank you, Kevin Shaw. And I want to kick it over to the Northeast Associate Sales Manager, Lacey Larson, to do some Diamond 2-star recognition. And she'll kick it over to our amazing, fantastic Regional Manager of the Northeast, Kevin Shaw, for some 3-star. You're welcome. I worked on that one this morning, Kev. 3-star and above recognition for Elite. And then Kev has some pretty killer announcements to share with us. So Lacey Larson, back from her bronchitis, whatever, black plague, what disease, kept her out of the office for a week. Pass it over to you.
Oh my heavens, you guys, no one, like, seriously, like, no one wanted to even, like, look at me because they were afraid they were going to get what I had. And it was brutal. Coughed up my lungs for, like, weeks, but I'm back. So, anyways, I do the Diamonds 1 and 2 stars, recognition for them. And number 1, we have Ashley Laughlin. She's got 125 Elite points. After that, we've got Colleen Bambroth, Megan Mozakowski, Carrie Arena, Stephanie Kathman, Ashley Feldenson, Farron Duran, Daniel Prestigion, Barbara Powers, and Lacey Mertz. So they're all kicking butt. So way to go, everybody. Kick it over to you, Kevin.
All righty, guys. Hey, so I am going to recognize the 3 up to 10-star, maybe throw in a 15-star here and there. But I want to recognize, first off, Keith Callahan. We haven't heard his name in a long time. He is up there with 135 Elite 10 points. Right behind him, Miss Tara Bialek, welcome. We're so excited to have you. You're up there. Megan Blinka, Kim Lima, Ashley Salvatore, Ali Dar, Cheyenne Tracy, Reagan Long, Tracy Zusman, Rachel Khalil, and Christy William rounding out the top 10. Well, I need to make a note, and I make this every time, and I want to make sure you guys are aware. This year is a crazy year when it comes to Elite points because we have our Elite points. You need 135, and then we have these new leadership points, Elite 10 points that push you incredibly fast up that ranking list. And many of those names that I have called out are up there simply because they've helped people rank advance to 1-star, they've helped people 1 to 5-star, and they've helped people get to team leader on the leadership ladder. By doing so, they're up high on that list. That's awesome, but once again, it comes down to your Elite points, your 135. Make sure you guys are on track with that. Jeff will talk a little bit more about that, but guys, this is going to be a crazy roller coaster year. The Elite top 200, the Elite top 10 is going to be people we've maybe never even heard of before. So get on that list, and you can do so by helping people rank advance, by helping them get to team leader. All right, that being said, I want to address a few other things, Jeff, if that's all right. One of them being the I'm Here to Help group that Carl has put together. You may have heard about it. You may be in it. If not, maybe you reached out to us wanting to be in it. It is a fascinating group. Today he posted there are 56 days until Summit. That's nuts. The whole point of this group is, what are you going to do between now and Summit? And he reminds you every single day where you are at and where you should be and how you should be pushing yourself to get uncomfortable, to do things you've never done before. So if you're in the group, you've seen the posts that people are making. They're pushing that they've never done before. If you're not in the group, let me give you a quick snapshot of what I've seen and what I want coaches to do. And that is simply to get uncomfortable. Whereas maybe we've been stagnant, we want goals, but maybe we're not putting in the time. Carl is getting you to do things you've never done before. And that's where you need to be. If you have goals that you want to hit by Summit, you're not going to get there by kind of just sitting around. You're not going to get there by maybe doing what you're doing now. You're going to get there by being uncomfortable. And that's what needs to happen in this group. That's why we have these elite push goals. That's why we have people like Tara jumping on, because that's what it's going to take to get to your goals. We have an interested column, and then we have a committed column. I hope you don't have more check marks in the interested column. I hope you have more check marks in the committed column. Let me tell you, the committed column should give you butterflies, should get you uncomfortable, should be hard. And if that's not where you are at, then you probably fall into the interested column. get uncomfortable, do hard things. The launch of UV2 just barely happened yesterday. I hope you're taking full advantage of this. Carl came out to Utah just a little while ago, a couple of days ago, and he pointed out two things that are very interesting with this UV2 launch. Number one, it is the first time that we have a kidifier channel, meaning a modifier, but a kid. So we're allowing families, maybe families with overweight or obese children or maybe falling into that trend. We're now tapping into that so we can help prevent future illnesses. And the second thing that he mentioned is this is the first time we've launched a program without showing before and after pictures. That's fascinating. This is something we're trying. This is because this group, he said, we don't want to set the expectation of what you're supposed to look like or be like at the end of this program. This is an introductory thing. So take full advantage of this. Don't say, yeah, this program's not for me. There are people out there who this is for them, and they're going to find out about it through you. Lacey Larson is going live as soon as this call is over on the Champions page. I've never seen anybody more excited, more ready for this launch to happen. She is forcing all of us to do this workout, and she is incredibly passionate. I've heard her talk about it on her calls, guys. She is going to change lives with this call. So jump on it, get your team on it to the Champions page. I've talked too much. I was simply supposed to recognize people. Jeff, I'll turn it back over to you.
Simply supposed to recognize people, Kev. That was great, man. Thanks for taking the time to break down UV2 a little bit and some of the exciting stuff coming down the pipe. That's what's great, guys. I love what Kevin brought up. It's one thing to show up on calls, and for the people that showed up on this call, great, and those that are going to watch the recording, great as well. There should be, I'm going to throw it out there, there should be more people on this call. And those that watch the recording, you need to be on the call live next time. But here's the thing. It's one thing to show up on a call. It's one thing to have goals. It's one thing to have a plan and a vision. But until you act and you work and you get uncomfortable, like Kevin said, nothing happens. In my opinion, the X factor in entrepreneurship and successful entrepreneurship is work and action, right? If you think too much, if you plan and strategize and time manage and all that, which is good and it's imperative to your success as an entrepreneur, but if you do not act, if you do not do something to get that's result oriented in the action you do each day, it's empty. You're going to miss the mark. And that's why I'm so excited today to have Tara on the call to share with some of the things that she's acting on to get there. Now, before I intro Tara real quick, as you guys know, another tool in the tool belt, more arsenal coming your way is going to be in June. June 12th will be Sean Week. Okay, Sean T coming out with his new workouts. Should be a lot of fun, and he says it's going to get us completely uncomfortable. So June 12th will be another tool in your tool belt with your arsenal. So I'm excited today, guys, for the Elite Call. You don't have to listen to me, Kevin, and Lacey anymore. We get to listen to one of the best and brightest, not just in the Northeast region, but really in the entire network and frankly, in network marketing, direct sales. She's really good at what she does. She's down to earth, super humble. And she's a bulldog. She's kind of a silent assassin when it comes to entrepreneurship. And she's like, "What, are you calling me a silent bulldog?" She is. She's super humble, friendly, a great mom, wife, and just to her husband, TJ, and just a phenomenal person I've got to know over the past year and a half or so. She's a 15-star diamond coach from, I don't want to say upstate Connecticut, but I think you're more on the southern central part. So she's a multiple-time elite coach, 15-star diamond coach. I want to welcome to the call and turn over the mic to Tara Bialek. Tara, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. That was so nice. I'm like so awkward right now because I don't like this. This for me
it's
is
like a silent bulldog, right?
That's true. Like I kind of like to not be known or to anyone to make a big thing about me because I don't know, it's just not my thing. Like that picture in the background that is in my office. My kids think it's like the weirdest thing ever, and they won't bring their friends in this room because of it.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Well, Tara, thanks for joining us on the call. I'm going to turn it over to you to share some of your tips, strategies, and pushing for elite, some of those daily activities. And just so everybody knows on the call, if you have any questions for Tara about something she shares or anything in general, it could be about pushing for elite or things that she does, drop them in the chat box on the site, and we'll hit those at the end for a little Q&A with Tara. So take it away, Tara.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, I'm super excited to be here. So Elite, let me just jump right into it because I know we don't have a lot of time and I like to talk. So Elite, my first year and my second year, and I feel like this year, it comes down to your daily activities. And it's just doing the things that you know that you need to do every single day and doing them and not taking days off, like not taking time and just, it's even if you're busy, you're going to make it happen. If it's at 11 o'clock at night, you're going to do it. So I think that was what really got me to Elite in the first place in the first year. I really didn't know numbers and I still don't. I focus on activities, and I know if I'm hitting those goals and doing those activities, then I will get there. And I don't really concern myself so much with like the numbers because guess what? Numbers stress me out 100%. So let me just kind of break this down for you. And like, I feel like there's 4 parts to Elite for me. Well, 4 things that I need to concentrate on, 4 groups of people, I should say. So the whole thing with being Elite is being a good mentor. And I am learning as I go. I was never a leader growing up. So this is something that I'm learning every single day, reading personal development and just knowing that, okay, if I can work my own business, I have to help teach my coaches to do the same, right? So 4 groups of people. So I hope you guys are taking notes because this seriously can change your business. And I'm not going to tell you guys something that's going to blow your minds. Seriously, it's probably the things that you have been hearing, but maybe something will just strike you in the right way because it's the right time for you. But here are the 4 people. The first one is your future customers, the people that are following you, people that are watching you every single day. They have not joined you yet. And I'll go into depth on each of these. The second is your current customers, your challenger. Third are your new coaches that you just signed up. And then the 4th are your leaders. Okay. So let's talk about your future customers. And I think people leave this out. I really think I feel like the biggest part of your business, okay, are your future customers, the people that are watching you on your page. So you guys all know that it's so important to post value. And I truly, every single day, think of what I can do to help people in their daily lives. Now, it may not always be health and fitness. It could, most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's faith-based or personal development, something that I was reading that struck me and I turn it around to help someone. So people look for that. I mean, guys, I was banned from Instagram for 2 days for who knows why. We don't even know to this day. But people were emailing me like, what happened? You're not on Instagram. Like, what's going on? And it was like, so like, wow. I look forward to what you're posting every day and your inspiration. So I know that people are really getting something from it. But I think it starts there. If you could start sharing your personal development and like maybe how it's helped a certain part of your life, people will start to relate to you. And honestly, maybe, which is ideal, they will grab the book that you're reading and start reading it for themselves. You start them on personal development in the front end there, then when they join as a coach, their confidence is already building in themselves. Okay, it's already there. That foundation is right there, right? You're not starting from square one. Okay. All right. So posting value, but also every single day, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do, guys. Every single day, I send 5 people valuable messages. It's basically a compliment, okay, or something that's been on my heart that I wanted to share with them. It could be like one of my books, like, hey, I was reading this today and I thought of you because last time we talked, you said this. I think you should grab this book. It's really great and I think you'd love it. Or it might be a recipe that I love for my kids that I think that they would love too. It could just be a compliment on their profile picture or their picture of one of their kids. Or like, wow, you had such a great day with your son in whatever, Parents' Day. I hope you enjoyed it. It's something, on the cuff, just, hey, compliment. Because I feel like we don't do enough of that in this world, for sure. Even if we think about it on the inside, we don't speak it. So I do 5 of those a day. And what is that creating for me? It's creating my community. I'm not looking for a sale. I'm just creating a community around me that like really want to just hopefully pay that forward, hopefully compliment someone else. 5 of those. And then I reply and like and comment on people that are liking and commenting on my stuff. So I'm interactive. I wasn't always like this, guys. I am not the one to like be social. It's hard for me on social media or in general. So this is something that's a trained behavior. You can get into the habit of doing these things. And then I do hey girl messages. I do 10 on Instagram and 10 on Facebook every single day. And those are, again, no intention. My intention, yes, I do have an intention. Intention is to bless them and to wish goodness on them. And that's it. Like, and sometimes, depending on the way I feel, I may not ask a question at the end. Sometimes I do. Okay, so it may just be like, hey girl, thanks so much for your support on my page. I really love that you're liking and commenting. Please don't stop, because it's really hard for me to put myself out there each and every day. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. It could be something like that. It could be a hey girl message where I'm like just asking how they are. I always like, that's like a generic one that I just ask how they're doing. How was your day? How was your week this week? You know, something like that. Where did you go on vacation? Like just simple. I could ask a question. It may not be a question. But here's the thing. You can't control who joins you or who buys a challenge pack or all of these things. But you can control who you're talking to every single day. Now, not everyone responds, and that's okay. I move on. But I'll tell you something. When I do compliment or when I do the hey girl messages, they may not respond. But when I do a call to action, guess what? They're going to be like, oh, and it happens all the time. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I didn't respond to this last message, but I just saw your post on this. What is it about? Can you tell me more about it? So that could happen a year from now. It could happen a month from now. You're just building your community. And I feel like that's where it starts for your elite journey, for building your team. Starting there. Another thing with customers, with your future coaches, future leaders on your team, because they are. I do a personal development based free group, and it's called The Miracle Morning, and it's truly been awesome for me. And yes, it's very simple. I'm posting in there just check-ins because they have the Miracle Morning book and they all have their own thing. Right now we're doing a clean eating week, okay? But this really helps them fall in love with personal development. So they start with the Miracle Morning and then they move on to other books that I recommend, okay? Now, with that, I'm always adding people to it. Not everyone is participating, but you'll be surprised with the people. I do a lot of messaging back and forth behind the scenes. That's how I grew my business totally, 100%. I am not like the biggest guru on social media. I grow my business by having conversations. So I check in with them. I ask them what they need from me. And a lot of times they need help with health and fitness because they're getting their mind right now with personal development. So now it's a great transition into joining a group and becoming a customer. Okay. So the second thing is becoming a customer. Second group of people. So I do the same thing, like providing value, checking in with them, not just about the challenge group, but about life. Okay, so I'm growing our friendship in our challenge group. I do have a lot of one-on-ones with my challengers. Let's see. I do personal development gifts a lot of times for people that join as a challenger. Hold on, I gotta let my dog out. This dog, seriously, is like worse than my kids. So I do personal development books and books that I know would help them grow that positive and become. What is that doing when they're reading these books? Because we do read personal development in my challenge groups. I don't want to say molding, but they are growing to become a personal development junkie. And what it does is have them confident enough to they're right.
All right, so I think we lost Tara, but she will jump back on. So that's the beauty of the internet, guys, and technology. So now I got to try to pick up where she was talking about. But I think as I've talked to her, guys, I mean, she shared a lot of what she shared with me on some of our calls, and she messaged me. She's getting back on right now. I love what she mentioned. She says, I grow my business by having conversations. Now, that doesn't always equate to an increased bottom line or maybe a rank advancement or elite or premier or getting to NLC or whatever these goals are that we have. But that is the basis and foundation for everything entrepreneurship. You are expanding your network and essentially getting eyes on you, right? And it's crucial that you do that just constantly, right? I'm not saying 24/7 you're talking to people. You're going to get burned out and drained, but that should be one of your daily essentials. That should be part of your 4 vitals. When we talk about invite, in my opinion, it should say build relationships of trust. That is so key, because before you can go and invite, before you can offer to put someone in a challenge group or to be a coach or to run with you on this crazy entrepreneurship train, you got to have that relationship of trust, right? They've got to experience it. And so she's essentially having those conversations, sure, but also putting people in a position, in a coaching position per se, putting people in a position where they can succeed. I think that's crucial and important. So Tara, I basically just finished the call for you. You're good.
It's awful.
You're good. I'll let you pick up where you left off.
Okay, I'm gonna try to speed through this, guys.
Oh, you're fine. You're great.
Okay.
It's Y2K. It's fine.
Okay, so for my customers, I am providing obviously daily inspiration in your challenge groups, accountability, but I'm also reaching out to them behind the scenes. And guys, here's the thing. A lot of people, you can't control what people like to do. If they don't like to participate in your challenge groups, okay. I'm going to keep them accountable behind the scenes, and that's okay too. So know that. But you can rev your challenge groups up by doing little like challenges. Like we do a water challenge 1 week. We do a recipe challenge where they have to share a recipe, and everyone that participates goes into a drawing for a prize. And that usually helps rev people up again. So for customers, you want to make sure that they're loving Shakeology and they stay on Shakeology, right? So I always walk them through. First of all, when they join, they see a video of me making my Shakeology, because I'll tell you guys something. There are so many people that do not know how to make it, and they will go through their whole 30 days not knowing and then end up not liking it. Okay, so make sure they know how to make it right off the bat, and that they found a recipe they like. It took me 8 days to find a recipe I like. And honestly, if I had a 5-day sampler, I don't know if I would have continued. So that's really important too. And I know that from experience. So I make sure that they find a recipe they like. I walk them through that. And I talk to them about the value of it. We share stories. We share like different recipes. We have a Shakeology day where I do a post. Okay, what kind are you drinking today? That usually helps people find certain things that they like and stick with and find a recipe they like, okay? So it's so important for that and for them to see the value. I also ask them how they feel on it, what has changed. Really digging deep into, after 3 weeks, like something's going on, something's changing, how do they feel? I don't just let them buy the challenge pack and never talk about Shakeology again because I'm scared. I used to do that when I was a new coach. I'm like, okay, please stay on it. Please stay on it. But now, obviously, I'm finding more success because I'm actually talking with them about it. And I love it, right? And I also share my experience with it and how it's helped me. Okay. Next thing are new coaches. How do we get our new coaches started right? And how do we get them to hit Success Club, right? Right off the bat. So I feel like new coaches hitting Success Club right off the bat, there's 2 things that are going on. The first thing is they have to have rocked the challenge group. Not have to, most of the time, have to have rocked the challenge group to see results, to believe in the products, to believe in themselves, to share their before and afters on social media, to talk to people about what they're doing in not an awkward way, and I teach them how. So the first thing I do is that they need to be plugged into the challenge group, acting as a challenger. Okay, if they've never been in a challenge group before, they need to be plugged into mine. They need to act like a challenger. And I will give them a leadership role too, where, hey, why don't you post every Friday, whatever you want to do, like to get people, you could do a contest, you could do whatever. And I keep it open and we run ideas back and forth with each other, that type of thing. Okay, you could teach new coaches how you run your groups. We have templates too, so that helps, but show them how it's done. Also, they are plugging into their own health and fitness. I'm checking in with them and treating them like a challenger and a coach. So it's not like, okay, now you're a coach, I'm going to leave you hanging. I used to do that. I'll admit it. Used to be like, okay, coach mode, let's do this. But now they need to continue on, because know that when we feel our best in our business and in life is when we have our health and fitness under control. So if they're going to rock their business, they need to keep on rocking their health and fitness. Okay. This is something I just started in the past couple months is sending them a personality test in their first email. I used to think that everyone was led, like I would lead everyone like I want to be led. And that's not the case at all. So many different personalities on my team. I need to meet them where they are and help lead them where they are. Some want to run. Some are like go-getters like me. They're like, yes, I'm going to do this. So here's what you need to do. And go do it. Some are like that. Some need to have their hands held, and they need to be led with more emotion, right? And love and that type of thing. So, sorry, my son is yelling for more food. So that is what I do for them. So all depends on what, and Wired That Way is a great book that I recommend to get. And I wish I did it earlier in my business. Okay, and it helps you with your coach, your leaders, and your customers. You could even have all your customers take this, not just coaches. Okay, so that helps. I get them started right by taking that personality test, plugging into challenge groups, and I have a checklist that they go through. And then after we get on a new coach Zoom, and we go through the checklist together. And I show them exactly what a power hour looks like. Okay, like how do I talk to people? Well, first, how do you build your list? How do you talk to people? We're not going out there and mass messaging people to join our challenge groups because, that's not going to go over well, okay? We are going to get to know people first and become a friend first. You're going to provide a lot of value, lots and lots of value, and I just walk them through that. Another thing that we do, hold on. Okay, in a couple minutes, buddy.
I'm hungry.
I know. There's some go in the sink. I put it in the sink. He's like a bulldog. Okay, in the sink.
He's not a silent bulldog.
No. My youngest is like a beast. Okay. Watch. I'm gonna come out of here, and there's gonna be popcorn all over the floor. That's all right. The dog will eat it.
Hey, that's part of being an entrepreneur at home, right?
That's right. Okay, so we do run, and guys, this has been really valuable this past year. We do sneak peek into challenge groups for my new coaches, and sneak peek into the coach opportunity. So what this looks like, and this is for sometimes my leaders will join and we'll do it together. Sometimes I'll just do it. It depends. But it's so crucial to help your new coaches do this. Help your new coaches invite to this, because they don't know how to do this for themselves yet. You have to teach them. So a sneak peek into a challenge group, people do it different ways. You've probably heard about different ways of doing this. The way I like to do, I get it done in one night. It's just a call. And what we do is we put everyone in a group. We invite to the group. It's an open group. I put before and afters in there of all my coaches or challengers, not everyone, but a handful, so people could see. And then it's like a 25-minute call. And I share my story. And I don't call it sneak peek into a challenge group. I call it like sneak peek into our community, or like something that's a little more like people are going to get interested in it and learning. Or let me share with you how I kick the habit of quick fix, living a quick fix life. Something that is going to be like, whoa, or the end of fad diets, something like that. Okay. And I share my story, which includes a lot of fad diets. And then I talk about our community. And then I end it with a little bit of my story. I always end, like, you want to switch back and forth. And then I close it out really quick. I try to make it quick. And I usually give away a personal development book at the end to people that are live on it. And I get my coaches to invite to it because there's nothing to lose. Like, they're just learning about our community, you know? And I've seen success with my coaches, success for me with doing things like this. Sneak peek into coaching, same thing. You could do, a lot of times I'll do a live call with another leader, or I'll do a 3-day thing or a 2-day, depending on my mood. And here's the important thing, guys. There's no right or wrong way to do this, but you just need to do it, and do it monthly for your team and for yourself. And pair up with people if you don't want to do it by yourself. I don't like to do things by myself either. Sometimes I do. I'll go live on my page. But it's always fun when you get other stories involved and they're not just hearing one side. Because I might have this side and then someone else might have, this is why they joined, different reason. Okay? So that's important to do. And just changing it up is important too. Like, a couple months you do it this way, then change it up. Trial and error. There is no perfect way. You're going to fail forward. Some months it's flipping awesome. Other months we're like, this was a dud. And it could just be that time of year. Just move forward. Don't say, oh, I'm never going to do that again. Change it up and do it over. And I think that's what helped me get to elite. Like, I never was like, crap, that didn't work. I suck and I'm not going to do this. Like, that may have happened for a day and then I got over myself and moved forward, you know? So the last thing is for leaders. It's very important that our leaders grow their teams. So leaders hitting the star diamond ranks, leaders hitting team leadership ladder, on the leadership ladder, going up in the rungs. That means that they're growing their team, they're growing their income, they're growing as a leader. And that's helpful for your elite points as well, right? So something that I started recently is having the one-on-one bi-weekly calls with my leaders. And I really feel like that's important because we talk about weekly goals. Setting yourself up with small weekly goals is key, whether it's adding 1 coach this week or adding 2 coaches. Well, what does that mean? Breaking it down. That means you might have to talk to 100 people. Might mean you have to talk to 50 people. It depends. People are different in the way they can, add coaches. Some people could talk to 10 people and add 5 coaches. It all depends. And if that's you, then your social media is on point because people think that they know you through your social media, and that's where you actually want to be. Okay. So that's why I say presenting value and being yourself on social media is important. We have a leadership training that you can definitely do for your leaders, even rubies, guys, or emeralds. If that's all you have on your team that is considered a leader, you could do trainings for them, leadership trainings, breaking down what it looks like to hit team leader. What does that look like? Okay, we have to increase volume. Okay, so what does that look like? That means adding coaches. That means presenting the business. Well, how do I do this? Show them how you do it and then have them do it with you. And then they'll go out and be able to share and teach their team to do the same. So guys, that is it. That's like my system. All like starting with the free group, then going to a challenge group, then going to my new coach group Zooms, and then going to my leader one-on-ones. And here's the thing. You always have to stay in that phase 1 with your fitness. Not to say you're not going to you go up and down, but I'll tell you, your business will grow if you're real and if you're getting back on the tractor. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, if you fall off, don't try to hide behind the screen. You got to get back into it. Make your health and fitness a priority. Stay in phase 1. Reach out to people. Never go into management mode. And show your team what you're doing. When I learn stuff, even when I go to leadership or whatever, I would share it. This is what I've learned. I take a video of it. This is what's working for me the past couple weeks. Even though if I don't think it's gold, but it's been helping, I will share. And it could help one of my leaders. It could help one of my new coaches. So that's basically it. It sounds simple, but it takes work, and it's taken 3 years to kind of perfect it. And guys, I didn't start out this way. My first year to Elite, I worked the beginning of what I talked to you about today, the value, the free groups, the rocking challenge groups was what I focused on. And that created the leaders in my team. All right. So I think that's it. But
that's good.
I would be happy to take questions.
No, it's really sorry, I was going to take the baton from you. Remind me again, the 4 things you said: add value, free groups, challenge groups, which leads to leaders. Awesome. Okay. So do me a favor, guys, because I think Tara just knocked this out of the park. And before we hit her with questions, because there are a couple that came through, I saw a lot of people doing this on the call, which is a good thing. That means you're taking notes. Let's do a little daily affirmation for Tara Bialek. Everybody, if you're driving, don't do this, but hold up what you just took away from Tara. This, no joke, I've never taken this much notes. I hate writing. I've never been on a call where I've taken that many notes. Look, I even called it the Tara system right there.
Uh-huh.
So, girly, you knocked it out of the park. That was really, really good. I mean, you broke it down. And if people are questioning, how do I not just push for Elite, but how do I get this business going? That is I'm not going to say a perfect recipe because nothing's perfect, but that is a solid recipe for success. So thank you for sharing. I'm going to hit you with the questions, Tara, that came across in the chat. And some of them may have been answered as the call went along. So we'll roll with it. This one comes from Melissa Potier. If you guys don't know her, she's one of our friends from Canada joining the call today and a former Team Cup winner. Melissa, bonne journée et bonjour. Ça va bien? She wants to know, Tara, with your groups, do you just have one group that you run a month, and do you add your challengers and coaches and runners all to the same group? And if so, how big is it? And do you have a maximum amount of challengers in that group each month?
Okay, so you're talking about challenge group, like do I open a new one monthly? So this is the year that I didn't. Mine's a year long, and I change it up every month. We put a new cover photo. My friend Stacy there, she's one of my top leaders. She does a Zoom call in the beginning of the month to help her coaches, and she's going to do it more often because her challengers, because it helps. It helps them, and it forms that community. I think it's a great idea. She's a Rockstar Challenge. She Rockstar Challenge groups. But I do it for the year because of the Beachbody On Demand. And I like that, so when we do Sean Week or when things come out, we can be like, okay, guys, this is what we're doing this week. We can rev them up. I always am like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm starting a new program. Who's with me for the start of June? Something like that. So you do have your regulars, and you encourage everyone to participate. And I think that comes along with the mini challenges. Going live in the group is also important. And just, rocking it like that. And it's so much easier than opening up. I used to do that, open up a new one. I used to run 2 challenge groups a month and open up new ones every 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. And it doesn't even make a difference. It really doesn't.
Does that help, Melissa, or anything to follow up with? Awesome. Merci beaucoup pour la question. Okay, the next question, there was a couple on some of the forms that you have, Tara. I think it was Naomi asked, do you mind sharing your coach list you mentioned? And then there's a follow-up question, if you are willing to share any of the forms that you do use for your new challengers and new coaches.
Like my emails and stuff? Yeah. Let me write it down or I'll forget. That's the story of my life.
So priority number 1, Tara, make sure that your son eats, and then 2, send those lists.
I'm like, you can watch a popcorn and watch a whole movie, and there's no nap. You don't have to nap. How awesome is that?
He's going to want you to do all these calls.
He can't even give me 20 minutes. Seriously.
It's awesome, and we'll get those shared in the groups, guys. So Great question there. Another question that came through. From Naomi, you mentioned some of these mini challenge groups that you run. I think it's a great idea. And you did mention the personal development group, maybe the water challenge within that group. Do you have any other ideas or types of groups with those mini groups that have worked for you? Just any other ideas of topics or themes for those mini challenge groups?
Yeah. So when I do so you could even run just an accountability, lifestyle group, community group, right? And then every week do something different. Like one week I did like a push-up challenge, and like people didn't even know how to do a push-up. Like I had to walk them through how to do one and do it the right way. Like I showed a video of someone doing it, a trainer doing it the right way, and like doing it on their knees, and they just had fun with it. They're like, I got mine in, and they did a picture. But what is that doing? It's creating like, oh, you know, and a lot of these people that were like going for it and doing them are now my challengers and now coaches. So they're getting used to it. So you could do something like a fitness, like a squat challenge for the week. You can do a clean eating. Like right now we're doing clean eating. I've done a kindness challenge where they have to, you know, do an act of kindness for the day, and they have to write it under the post. I've also done, oh, this is a fun one, like a question of the day. So like I've done like, what's your favorite movie growing up? And do you still watch it? And why? What did you want to be when you grew up? Like when you were young, what did you want to be when you grew up? And are you doing that right now? Like, so you get to know them more, and people love talking about themselves, right? So it helps that community, and it helps them engage. And those people that aren't engage with those questions because they like to talk about themselves.
Everyone loves to talk about themselves. I think, Stacy, did you say you had something you wanted to add?
I could.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to piggyback off of that. One thing that I do, I'm also running a year-long challenge group this year based on the All Access on Demand as well. This is the first time that I'm doing that. And I do change the cover photo monthly, like Tara said. But what I did do for 1 month was we created a calendar, and that was our cover photo. So it was very easy access for everyone. And each day they needed to do something different, but it wasn't always fitness and health related, just like you just said with the question of the day, things like that. And it was like, post a picture of your favorite pair of shoes, you know, and you had all sorts of answers. You've had red high heels, you had sneakers, it just brought, you know, the different personalities out.
I love that.
And there was post your favorite piece of artwork, post your favorite book, things like that. Post a picture of your family, just different things, but they had to post a picture. And if they did all 30 days, they went in also for a prize too. So it created daily interaction.
Yeah.
Something different to do each day. And as far as, this is another thing that I started doing, I was thinking about how can we connect more? How can we add more value rather than just on Facebook? And that's where I came up with the Zoom idea. So what I did was, yes, I see your question. I have a copy of the calendar. So what I did was I decided to do a weekly Zoom call. And it's optional and it's recorded. And it's called a support call. And it kind of reignites people and puts a fire under their butt each week. They look forward to it. They remember their why. Why did they start? Why are they in this group to begin with? And I did 2 already, but this past one, there's always a topic, and this past one, we went through the entire On Demand and showed all the goodies that they have access to. I mean, they had no idea with the cooking show and the recipes and the meal plans. There's so much the On Demand offers for the price. And we went through everything. I did a screen share, and we went through all of it, and if they have any questions. And that was really great. And what I'm doing now is, since my team's small, all my coaches are with me in my challenge groups with their challengers. So now I am having my coach, each leader coach, take a turn and host the call. So they get to be viewed by their personal challengers as a leader. They get more interaction, and they kind of take on that leadership role. And it takes off of me too, because I don't have to plan anything. So this will be the first one, so I'll let you know.
And that's awesome. And guys, for those that don't know Stacy, she's one of our great leaders in the region as well from Connecticut. She's actually a coach of Tara's. So there's some awesome duplication that's happened over the years. And now Stacy is running with her team now in the top 50 of the Northeast region as well with her and her team. So great job, Stacy. I love that. And both of you have just mentioned it's all about putting people in a position to succeed. If you remember Summit 2 years ago, then we'll wrap up this call. Sorry, we're going along. This is great. DeWitt Jones, who was one of our speakers, you remember the National Geographic photographer, he spoke one of our keynotes. He talked about one of the keys to his success, putting your place, putting yourself in a position of the highest potential or the most potential, right? And that's what I think you guys are doing is you're putting your challengers, your future customers, your new coaches in a position of most potential. And then if they act, there will be some success that happens, right? So great point. So one more question for you, Tara, and this comes again from Melissa. She wanted to know, with your groups, you talked about the importance of staying on Shakeology and creating that culture of knowing how to make the shake and enjoying it. By the way, I thought your dog was like a big German Shepherd knocking on the door. Look at how tiny it is. She wanted to know, do you end up removing people from the group that don't stay on Shakeology, or do you allow them to stay in?
So I just want to pay everything Stacy said is gold, seriously. And think about the retention of people staying with the group and on Shakeology. If they have those connections to you, number one, and they see value, like one of the topics could be based on Shakeology. Here are different ways to make it. Here's what, let's all share what it has helped us with on a Zoom call, something like that. Like those are huge. So I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers, but I do not believe on taking someone out of my group because they're not on Shakeology. Because seriously, like their number one is a lot of times they come back to it, okay? And a lot of times they join as a coach and now we'll stay on it. I have so many people saying to me, like they've been in groups and they've been taken out and they need the accountability. And how am I going to say you can't, I'm not going to help you because of that. I just can't. So, but here's the thing, guys. A lot of times people join with a challenge pack, a lot of times for me, most of the time. And if they don't stay on Shakeology as a customer, they join as a coach and stay on Shakeology. So I find, or they fall off the face of the earth and they don't even, so it's either one or the other. But I always want to invite people, and I think the year-long group helps you keep them. And if they don't stay on Shakeology, say that 1 month they have the worst month ever, they went off Shakeology, whatever, you can reignite them to come back and say, hey, why don't you get back on Shakeology? We have a full year together. We're going to do this. And it kind of gets them going again. So no, I would never pull them out.
Good question. I know that I've actually been asked that question quite a bit. And you got to do what works best for you, and you never know the potential in someone. So
right.
I love that.
Yes. So. Dawn said that she started a group without Shakeology and with another protein shake. And look at her now, she's a coach. So it happens a lot. And you don't want to, again, be a friend, be a person first.
Love it. So Tara, I got one more question from me. Okay. We are I think 57 days from Summit, which is crazy. Quick. If you had to give the people that are on this call and those that watch it any sort of push to get uncomfortable, like Kevin said at the beginning of the call, or a challenge, what would you really encourage people to do heading into Summit to get the most out of that event and also make sure that their business is on point? It's a loaded question. Sorry.
Okay, so he's saying sorry already, so we know something went wrong back there. Okay, so this is what I would do. You have to control the controllable. You guys all can control what you do every single day, okay? So I want to challenge you guys. I'm going to look at it in a second. I want to challenge you guys. It may mean you have to get up a little bit earlier than the kids and get this done. But I want to challenge you guys to start talking to 10 to 20. And I do 10 on both platforms, Instagram and Facebook. New people every single day. just starting conversations and building conversations. You take those people and you start being on their pages. Write them on a list. You're focusing on them for the week. You're liking and commenting. You're being in their face. Guys, your success club numbers will go up if you do this. You guys can all, if you can hit Success Club 5 or 10, you can hit 20. You could hit 30. And I know it's not about the numbers, but think about how many lives you're changing. This is one more thing. I used to, like, if I hit Success Club 20, I'd be like, oh, I'm good. I could settle down. I'll focus on my team. No, you could focus on your team and you could still help more people. Because how selfish is that to be like, oh, I'm good. I'm done for the month. No, there's so many other people out there that have problems, that need our help, and that need a coach like you. Not just any coach, not just a coach that says they're going to show up and doesn't. They need a coach like you. And it's our job to go out there and find them. So I want to challenge you guys from now until Summit to do that. 10 on Instagram if you work Instagram, 10 on Facebook. Start conversations, be a friend, and you're going to see your business. And it's going to just, that momentum is going to keep on going. And this is going to become a habit. It's going to be a no matter what.
Awesome. I know you don't have a mic there, and so you can't do a mic drop, but don't drop him because I know that's what you're holding. That deserved one of them. Tara, thank you so much. I'm excited to see what kind of damage he did back there.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I know you will. Appreciate you being on the call and taking time to share. That was one of the best, and no joke, one of the best calls I've been a part of, so thank you for that. And guys, for those that are on the call and that watch it later, we are a third of the way through the year, okay, which is crazy. That means that the year's moving fast, but it means that there's still plenty of time in regards to elite, premier, NLC leadership and qualifying for those great events and recognition aspects of this business. If you have any specific questions about trending your elite points a third of the way through the year, any questions on how to get there, like Tara said, the logistical side of these goals, I want you to reach out to myself, Kevin Shaw, Lacey Larson. We'll do a call with you. We will break down your numbers, whatever we need to do to help you get that plan in place. Over the next week, 1 to 2 weeks, because we have some travel going on, we will open parts of our schedule. If you want to do a team call with any of your group about elite, premier, and these pushes, and you can register and get into those, and we'll take some time with you. So, Tara, thank you again so much. Appreciate you, and you guys have a great, great day.
You too. Thanks, guys.